Perfect. All right, gang. So nice to see you all. Just a quick reminder to have a glance around your little exercise space. There's nothing to step on or trip over. Make sure you're sitting in a sturdy chair, nothing with wheels. You should be in bare feet, or shoes. And then just a reminder, if you're on carpet or a rug, just be aware that that can sometimes affect your balance depending on how thick it is. We will be using a resistance band today and a weight or a soup can or water bottle. And then just remember, those things increase your body's need for oxygen. So if you are having a struggle with breathing today, then you are more than welcome just your body weight as well. All right, so for the start of our warm-up, let's just go over our recovery breathing. So a good thing to practice at home to strengthen your lungs. And any point today that you feel like your heart rate has gone up and you're short of breath, this is what I want you to do to get that back under control. So hands on your belly, we are going to breathe in, pull our hands out, and breathe out through pursed lips as you bring those hands back in. So it's a breathe in, slowly pull the hands apart, breathe out through pursed lips to slowly bring those hands back in, and challenge yourself. How long can you maintain that exhale? Nice and steady. You've got 2 more at your own pace. Last one. Brilliant. So remember, let's try to maintain a steady breathing pattern, and let's start getting our arms moving in a figure 8 pattern. Now, as we get moving, a couple other reminders for you about exercise specifically. There's a couple ways that you can increase or decrease the challenge of an exercise, meaning you can make it harder based on your breathing, or you can make it a little bit easier for your breathing. So if you move your limbs quickly, the more quickly you move your limbs, the more oxygen you need, the harder it is on your breathing. The more limbs you move at one time. So if we were to start marching right now, that would mean an increased need for oxygen. Okay, and the amount of resistance you move. So if you use a band or a weight, the more you use, the heavier it is, the more oxygen you will need. So you have to pay attention to how your body is feeling today. All right, so now making one circle with one arm and the opposite foot. Now, you don't have to hold your foot up way up in the air like I am. It can just be low. That'll probably be easier on your hip. I'm just making sure you can see what my foot is doing. And I just trimmed my toenails just for you guys. Switch sides.
Jill, I need to leave today at 1:40.
That's no problem. Yeah, when you gotta go, you go, Barbara. Just do what you can.
When you gotta go.
Toenail trimmer says things that are on the internet.
Yeah, you could get one off the internet for sure.
Yeah, have you tried them? They're really something.
Oh, no, I haven't.
Oh, you want to try them?
All right, that's good advice.
What was it? I didn't hear.
There's new toenail trimmers on the internet that you want to try. Their handles and the heads turn, so you can do whatever you want with them.
Oh, wow.
Woo! And rest.
Great stuff.
Get your arms moving in the same direction. So you can, the more straight your arms are, the more of a challenge it is. If you got sore shoulders, just keep those elbows in. All right, now as we move those arms, gang, step forward one heel at a time. So I'm just touching my heel in front of me. So tap the heel out in front of you. Actually, if I move a little bit further back, it might be helpful. There we go. So touch that heel in front of you. Now change directions of those arms. There we go. Excellent job, team.
Give her some.
Maintain your breathing. And shake out those arms. Give me a little shimmy. And reach across your body. Sometimes I just do silly things to see if you're paying attention, you know. All right, so as we reach across the body, I encourage you to also get your leg tapping out to the side. So foot taps out to the side as we reach across the body. Again, though, the more limbs we have moving at a time, the higher your need is for oxygen. So if you are having a lower oxygen day, or you're struggling with being short of breath, maybe we need to move just the arms. You can alternate with the legs. Okay, you need to do what's best for your body. Think about a 10-point scale. 0 out of 10 is your breathing is easy, no strain at all, you're just at rest. Your 10 out of 10 is barely being able to breathe, not good at all. Let's try to get up to about not past a 5 out of 10 today. So it's okay if your breathing becomes slightly labored, right? You have to breathe a little bit heavily when you were working hard, but let's make sure we're able to catch our breath. We're able to keep it steady and under control. All right, and rest there. Okay, gang, we're gonna hold our arms straight up in the air. Now, if that's sore on shoulders or neck, then I just want you to cross your arms and keep your elbows. If you could hear that, but I forgot to turn my phone off. And it was right in my ear. All right, so kicking forward, 1 foot at a time, and I want you to keep those arms up or arms crossed at the shoulder, elbows up. Now your goal is as we kick our leg up, I want your torso to stay completely still. So you have to tighten up your core, tighten up those belly muscles. And kick forward 1 at a time. Keep up your breathing. Can you do the can you do the can?
Oh, well done.
There we go, gang. That looks awesome. And rest. So now hold up 1 knee. Was that fun? I'm pulling out all the stops for you today. That's how I show my love for you post Valentine's Day.
By working us.
That's right. Greatest love language there is, exercise and health. So keep 1 knee raised up. And now take your hands and we're just going to push forward and back. So again, I encourage you to keep your back off the backrest. You have to tighten up your core muscles. So tighten up through the belly So you stay nice and strong as this knee is up. Maintain your breathing. Now, if holding that leg up is hard on either your breathing or your muscles, feel free to just lift it up and down as you move your arms. Maintain your breathing. And switch knees. Keep pressing out and in. There we go, gang. That looks awesome. Again, torso, can we keep it nice and still, even if we're holding a knee up, even as we're pressing our arms out and in. Now, this is a challenge.
Hey. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. And rest. Nice work, team. All right. Now, who remembers trying to crush a walnut between your bum cheeks? Which again sounds funny, but it's a good visual cue for getting your glutes to tighten up.
I got him.
Good. So tighten up those glutes. And again, if you need to put your hands to feel if they tighten up or not. And again, it sounds silly, but sometimes we're not always aware how our glutes work. And it's hard to have that connection sometimes. So tighten them up as best you can. And now we're going to swing our arms back and forth. So keep your chest up, keep those glutes tight, and pump your arms.
I think
There
a
we
walnut's
go.
better than $100 bill.
Yeah, that's also a great thing. I've told people that before too, though. You got a $100 bill between your bum cheeks and someone's trying to snatch it away. And boy, does that people get tight glutes. There we go, gang. Because it's sometimes hard to isolate certain muscles. So using these kind of silly imagery techniques can really help you visualize what's going to happen, right? So keep them tight.
Want to find out which muscles you're not exercising, wash walls. You'll find them.
There you go. You found some new muscles over the weekend, did you?
Yeah.
Nice work. All right, gang, and rest. That was awesome. That was just about 2 minutes. And it's not often that we do an exercise for that long. So well done. That's fantastic. All right, so now let's, that heart rate should be up and let's keep it working. Remember to go into your recovery breath whenever you need to. Now, the first strength exercise we're going to do is our sit to stand. However, I'm going to add something to it if you feel comfortable trying it out. And if those sit to stands, if you're able to do 10 with no problem, this is what you're going to do. We're going to get your feet out a little bit wider. So they're just about almost a little bit wider than the chair. And I want your toes slightly pointed out. Now, having our feet like this, it can be a little bit off balance. So make sure you've got something close by to hang on to keep your balance. But all we're going to do is stand up with our feet wide. Now, if you're not comfortable standing, that's okay. You're still going to get your feet in that same position. And I want you to lean forward. And remember, we're pushing our feet into the ground. You can feel those leg muscles tense up, and then you're going to relax and sit back. Right? So it's tensing those leg muscles like you're going to stand up, and then you relax. Now, go slow. It's an up, 2, 3, and down, 2, 3. The goal here, gang, is to keep those knees out wide. All right, if that feels too tight, just bring them in slightly. So it's an up, 2, 3, and down, 2, 3. Up, 2, 3, down, 2, 3. The goal is to get to 10. If you only get to 5 and need to rest, no problem. There's lots of ways you can do this. You can do 2 and then rest for 2 and repeat. If you're done early and feel good, you can sneak in a couple extra.
Oh, yeah, we'll do that, Joe.
Now, again, listen to your body, gang. If you do a couple and then you're not feeling steady, we'll go back to just leaning forward, press those feet into the ground. You will feel those muscles tighten up and then relax. Remember, it is helpful to breathe out, especially through pursed lips as you stand or as you push your feet into the ground. And with all this chatting, I have no idea what number we're at.
49.
49. Woo!
We're so good.
So great. Does anyone have a number for me?
10.
That's 10. There we go. See, something told me that 49 wasn't quite right. I'm on to you. All right,
I've
team.
never seen a woman that was talking lose plaque of where she was at. So this is something new for me.
Oh boy. That's telling me you haven't been in these classes for the last couple weeks.
My third one.
There you go. That's awesome. Well, because
Second.
you're all starting to figure out I'm a hopeless mess when it comes to counting. But hey, we all have our flaws, and I've just kind of peered into the skid of it and have admitted it. So now you got, guys, if you've got a weight or a water bottle, something you're using for a bit more resistance, now is the time to grab it with both hands. And you have got 2 options. I'm going to show you the seated option and the standing option. But what's most important is that we do this slow and controlled. So if you're seated, lift up one knee. We're up tall, that belly is tight, and we're moving just the weight over the knee and back. Over the knee. Now notice my leg doesn't move. I'm not rotating at my hips. I'm just moving the weight. That's all. Now, if holding that leg up is sore, then you can put it down in between and alternate slowly. That'll be a little bit easier. Now, if you want to stand, it's the same thing, just one foot slightly in front of the other. Bend your knees a little bit. And again, we're moving that weight slowly to the side. Notice my hips don't move at all. Maintain your breathing pattern. There we go, gang. So that's the standing option, one foot ahead of the other. Everything is slow. It should feel challenging just based on keeping that belly tight as you move the weight and breathe. There we go, gang. Now, if you've got one knee lifted or one foot in front of the other, it is time to switch. And go. If you've been alternating, please feel free to continue. Now, make sure you're listening to your body, gang. If things feel a little shaky or lightheaded, or you don't feel well, just stop for a moment, take some of your slow recovery breaths, get everything under control. And then you can continue. Keep up your breathing. That's it, team. Just move that weight to the outside of the knee and back. Well done. Got just a couple more. Looking very strong, everybody. And rest. Good. Now, how did that feel?
It hurts. Yeah, that was quite nice. I like that one. It was good.
What was that? What was that, David?
It was good. I quite like it.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah.
Awesome. And someone said it hurts. Does that mean it's kind of tiring and sore, or were you feeling pain?
Feeling pain, lifting the leg in the back. My back is hurting this morning.
Okay, and were you holding it up, Terry, or were you alternating?
I was holding it up and then I started alternating. That made it worse.
Okay, has your back been sore the last couple of days, Terry?
Just since this morning. I think I slept wrong.
Okay, gotcha. Okay, we'll chat after class.
Okay.
Okay, gang. Now with your weight, what you're going to do now, again, if you are seated, you're up nice and tall, you're tensing through those core muscles. And now you have the option of either holding the weight in one hand, which is going to be more challenging because it's more weight on one hand, or holding the weight with both hands. And we're just going to go up slow and down slow. Now, what's key here is I want you to keep your elbows tucked in, whether it's one arm or if it's both arms. Keep those elbows in. You might not be able to get all the way up if it feels tight in the back of your shoulders, but that's okay. And again, you're welcome to do this standing for a little bit extra of a balance challenge, but please listen to your bodies, do what is best for you. And if we're doing just one arm, it's up, 2, 3, down, 2, 3, up, 2, 3, down, 2, 3. It's helpful to breathe out as you lift the weight up, 2, 3, down, 2, 3, up, 2, 3, down, 2, 3. Switch arms if you're doing just one. Up, 2, 3, down, 2, 3, up, 2, 3, down, 2, 3, up, 2, 3, down, 2, 3, up, 2, 3, down, 2, 3. There we go, gang. Remember, don't let your neck tighten up. So just be really aware that your shoulders are doing the work. If the neck starts to get tight, then just bring the weight down and you can lift it up through the elbow without going overhead. And make sure that you are breathing out through pursed lips as we lift that weight up. Keep those elbows tucked in. We've got 2 more. Nice and slow. Up, 2, 3, down, 2, 3. Excellent job, everybody. Woohoo! Woo!
All right.
All right, gang. Now, if all you've got to use is a weight and you are sitting, and if you've got a band, grab it now. Look over it for any rips or tears, okay? But if all you've got is a weight, then this is what you're doing. You're bending over. I've got my one hand on my thigh. My back isn't round. It's actually up nice and tall. And you're just going to pull the weight up and down. And we will end up switching hands. Now, if you've got a band, this should be your favorite exercise by now, other than the sit to stands. The band is going to go around the bottom of both feet. I want your heels glued to the ground, toes are up, and we are going to pull our elbows back and then come forward, pull the band back, and then bring your hands forward. Now, you're welcome to start. We're gonna do 10 per arm, and the goal is to get to 15 or 20 with both arms. Just depends on how heavy the resistance is, what your lungs are like today. Now I'm gonna come close to the camera because I wanna show you something. If I pull my arm back as far as it'll go, watch my shoulder joint. If I pull it back as far as I can go, see how it rotates and the top of my shoulder is now pointed forward?
Oh,
That puts a
yeah.
lot of strain on your shoulder. Instead, if I keep my chest pulled forward and I just pull the elbow back, see how my shoulder, the top of my shoulder stays pointing up?
Yeah.
That means I'm working my back muscles and not putting as much strain through the shoulder. So if you do a lot of rows like this, and you go, oh, my shoulders don't really like that, it's time to start just pulling the elbow back until it gets tight back here and then stop. Does that make sense to everyone?
Yeah.
So it's pull, stop, and then back forward. So you really just want to think about your shoulder blades. I don't know if you can see my shoulder blades, your shoulder blades squeezing together and then rest rather than pulling down. Okay, so focus on trying to pinch a pencil between your shoulder blades.
Oh, slapped me good yesterday.
That happened yesterday.
I was pulling on this thing and my cat reached out and
Relax your neck, relax your neck.
played with the band, and the band broke and slapped me inside the face.
Oh dear. That's not fun at all.
Oh, your elbows. That's it.
You know, if your cat was one of my soccer players, I would have gotten him to do 50 burpees. That's always my rule when we use bands with team training.
You
I
want to
say-
talk about soccer? I had a border collie that played goalie when the kids were 7 and 8 and 9.
Oh, that's
Buddy,
so
they could
cute.
Aw.
Anybody that could get a ball past her got a rest.
There we go. Oh, that's awesome.
Well, it's much better than the dog ate my homework.
Yeah. That's right. That reminds me of those Air Bud movies with the golden retriever. Those were great movies. All right, gang. Now I did give you your own number at the start so that you could be in charge of it, because I knew I was going to be explaining some arm mechanics of this exercise.
I forgot to count.
Oh no.
You also forgot to count. No,
Well,
you have to do
now-
another 20.
Now you're all just like me.
Oh, taking lessons from Jill, you'll never know where you're at.
Yeah, I wasn't supposed to teach you that part. All right, I'm going to assume that your upper backs, the middle of your shoulder blades, have worked hard. Would that be a correct assumption?
That
Yes.
is correct.
Yeah.
Perfect. All right, so now you can take that band and put it to the side.
Yep.
Now, what's super fun today is we're going to repeat the 4 exercises that we've done, starting with our sit to stands.
Oh.
Woohoo!
Yeah.
So remember, they're a different one today. It's where we want our feet wider apart and our feet pointed out slightly. So making almost a bit of a V. And now the key part here is that we keep our knees out in line with those feet. And again, you're either standing up all the way, make sure you've got your balance support right close to you, and down, 2, 3. Again, if you're staying seated, then we're just leaning forward in the chair to push our feet into the ground as if we're going to stand up, muscles tight, and then relax. So again, if you're seated, lean forward, press your feet into the ground. You should feel these muscles tighten up, and then relax. Otherwise, you're standing up all the way to the count of 3 and down, 2, 3. And up, 2, 3, and down, 2, 3. Good work, gang. Remember, the goal is to do 10. You are welcome to do what is best for you. Some people need to do 2 or 3 and then rest for a couple and then do a couple more. Maybe you can do all 5 or 8 in a row and then need to rest. Maybe you can get through all 10. That's great.
13.
Remember, the goal is to feel challenged during our exercises, but also to feel like they are doable.
15.
And not that you have to push to your maximum to get it done. Challenging, yet doable. And this is 10 for me. There we go. We're on the same page. There, you can shake it out if you'd like. Make sure you're grabbing sips of water throughout, gang. All right, now our second exercise, you're going to need, well, you don't need the weight, but the weight will add an extra challenge. Feel free to use just your hands. Now, if you've got a sore back, I want you to go to our back relieving exercise, and I'll remind you of what that is in a moment. So if you're seated, with or without the weight, the goal is to lift up a knee, move the weight across without rotating from your back, and then bring it back and repeat. Remember, you can alternate knees to give your hips a little bit of a rest. And if you are choosing to stand, one foot is in front of the other, knees bent, and again, you're just moving the weight to the side, and your torso and hips stay still. Keeping that belly tight and breathing. Now, if you've got a sore back, what you're going to do is just put your hands on the chair, and you're just going to slowly rock your hips back and forward. Again, rock the hips back and forward slowly. Again, I'm not moving very far, but that's to relieve any lower back tightness or soreness that you might have. Great job, team. Now, if you've been going just to one side, now is the time to switch sides. So switch which leg is forward, switch which leg is holding up, or keep alternating if that is what you are doing. But the whole time, core is squeezed tight and you are breathing. Great job, everybody. I'm hearing some breathing, which is awesome. Good, Terry, how is that feeling? Oh, Terry might be frozen. Oops. Great job, gang. Keep up your breathing. Move the weight to the side and back slowly. All about control, all about challenging those core muscles. So those muscles right around the belly button. And rest. Woo! And again, anytime you need to bring everything down, get back under control, rest, just go into our breathing, recovery breathing, which is slowly inhaling to pull the hands apart, slowly breathing out through pursed lips to bring the hands back in. Now, if you're feeling good, we've got to lift the weight overhead, either single arm and down, or with both hands. Keep those elbows tucked in, especially as you get up. The thing is your elbows want to get pulled out wide, but fight them in. Keep going, gang. Do what you can.
Are you gonna switch arms?
Yes, we are. And we're actually going to switch right now.
Oh, good.
That was 10 for me. So sorry if you had a couple more under your belt.
Oh,
And
that's okay.
slow and steady, gang. Remember, it's helpful to breathe out as you lift up. And remember, when we're looking to get strong, it's about the intention and purpose you put into your exercises. So if you pretend you're lifting 50 pounds and you slowly get everything working hard, you're going to get more strength benefit out of that than moving up and down fast. Okay? Slow and steady. Two more, I believe. Good. Last one. Whoo! Bye, Barbara. There we go. Okay, gang. Once again, if you've only got a weight, that fourth exercise we've been doing is one hand on the thigh, lean forward, and just pull that weight up and down. If you've got a resistance band, then you can put the band around the bottom of both feet. Toes are up,
Forward.
and we're pulling that band back.
Yep.
And forward. And remembering, we're looking to bring the shoulder blades together, not just pulling the arm back.
Don't pull that back. That's better.
There we go. So keep your chest up tall. Oh, keep going, gang. I'm just gonna let someone back in here. There we go. All right. How's that feeling on those shoulders, gang?
Okay.
Okay.
There we go. Keep up your breathing. Now I see a couple of bicep curls, and that's okay if that's what's best for you. But if you're not sure because you've got weights, I'll turn to the side to show you. That weight's just hanging down and I've leaned forward a little bit and I'm pulling the elbow up.
Okay.
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 And sometimes it's easier to do that movement if you're comfortable with this, standing, hand on the back of your chair. You can pull that weight up. But the goal is to work on those middle back muscles. And that's kind of what we call, sometimes people call them posture muscles, because they pull your shoulders back, help open up your chest so that you can take a deeper breath in. Now, if you are only using one hand, have you switched hands yet?
Yes.
Okay, perfect. Has anyone not switched hands? I'm so sorry if you haven't.
Yep.
Okay, so it sounds good. So rest there, because that was lots. There. Now, really quickly, I just want to kind of go over what I meant there when I said those kind of posture muscles and opening up the chest and how that helps your breathing. I want everyone to kind of pull their shoulders in. And now try to take a deeper breath in.
Work.
Yeah, it's hard work. Now, sit up tall to whatever's most, it should be comfortable for you. And I know some of you are limited where you're not able to fully open up the chest, and that's okay. Just a little bit taller than rounded. Now take a breath in. Which was easier?
A
Yeah,
lot.
that's
Coming back.
one, right? And so that's why well, that's one reason why I always we get our arms moving out to the side. And sometimes I've got you opening up your backs by lifting those arms up, and I tell you to pull the chest forward. That's to help you with your breathing. So something to be aware of. Okay. Now,
It's really getting the shoulder blades together, isn't it?
it is.
Yeah.
Yep. And my favorite thing to tell people is pretend you have a string, a little string that's just pulling your chest forward. Because if I get you to just pull your chest forward a little bit, that actually opens up the shoulders, versus if someone gets told to pull their shoulders back, people tend to really pull them back.
Oh,
Where it's really just that slight movement. If you think about a string,
Oh, pull your
your chest forward, you can feel your shoulders open up a little bit. Right? And it doesn't feel as straining, especially in the neck, as pulling the shoulders back. So we're going to challenge that a little bit. We have a couple minutes where we're going to focus more on getting our heart rates up, challenging our breathing, which is great. But I want you to find that good posture for you and maintain it. So again, we've got that string on our chest and it's pulling our chest forward just a little ways. Okay, now keep that posture, try to maintain your breathing, and we're going to start just marching. I'm going to keep reminding you, okay, chest pulled forward. Oh, and I've lost my stopwatch in front of me here. That's better, because the goal is to go for a minute for each exercise. So your goal, and you may need to stop and rest, and that's okay. Now, but I want you to find a pace, meaning a speed, a rhythm that you can maintain for a couple minutes, or as long as you can maintain it. So if you push too hard, you're going to need to rest sooner. So again, that challenging yet doable pace, okay? So keep that chest pulled forward, keep breathing. Again, if you can do this standing, that's going to be more challenging for you. The higher you lift those knees and the more vigorously you move those arms, the harder it's going to be. And by harder, I mean more demanding on your lungs, which isn't a bad thing. It just means some days we have to pull back a little bit because our breathing is a struggle. Some days we can push it a little bit more. All right, so now you're going to touch your toes forward and back, touch your toes forward and back. And if you're standing, I want you just stepping forward, forward, back, back, forward, forward, back, back. With your knees a little bit bent.
Hold on.
And if you're seated, just touch your toes in front of you. Stretch your toes out and back. Stretch your toes out and back. Again, string pulling the chest forward. Maintain a steady breathing pattern. And this is not a competition with anyone, gang. Some of you are going to be just giving her. If you're having a great breathing day, maybe you had an awesome sleep the night before, everything's great, and some of you are going to need to go slower pace. Maintain that breathing. It's whatever is challenging yet doable for you today. There we go, gang. All right, now we're rotating one arm over the other. There we go. Good. Now, as we do this, we're going up on our toes and down, up on our toes and down. There we go. Get those arms going, going, going. Great job, gang. Maintain that breathing. And reverse those hands if you can. Boy, that makes it more fun.
Ooh.
Nice work, gang. Awesome. There we go. And rest the arms. We're stepping out, out, in, out, out, in, out, out, in. There we go. So remember, if you're standing stiff legs feels more off balance, just bend your knees a little bit. We're stepping out, out, in, out, out, in. We're gonna keep that belly tight. It's gonna help you have your balance close by, balance support close by. There we go, team. So much fun. I don't know about you guys, but I'm having a blast.
Sitting here thinking about when I was trying to do these when I came out of ICU.
There you go. It's gotten easier.
I was in there 88 days. I couldn't lift myself or set myself or anything.
Holy smokes.
Whoa.
Look how far you've come.
Yeah.
You are doing awesome.
Was that with COVID? Was that with COVID?
I didn't get that.
Was that with COVID? COVID?
He's asking with COVID.
No, it was not. I had a busted artery from my heart to my left leg.
Oh.
Here.
Oof. All right, gang, swimming one arm forward at a time. And if you've got a sore shoulder, feel free to just go from the elbow. So swim, 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 swim. And I really want you to imagine you're in water. You're reaching out, pull the water back, pull the water back.
That's cold.
Keep that belly tight. It's cold, so you better swim fast.
Couldn't you wait till summer before we go swimming?
Did
Oh,
you
they
see
need a
how
pool with
sunny it
warm
was
water.
today?
Post
It
polar bear.
was gorgeous today.
Please, my guy.
Are you from
So
Kelowna?
go at your own. I am from Kelowna,
Okay,
born and raised.
I was born in Penticton, raised in Kelowna.
There you go.
Yeah.
That's wonderful. And rest. Shake out your hands.
Post polar bear.
You're a polar bear?
No, it was post polar bear training.
Oh, that's right. That's right. Yeah,
Girls
next we'll
doing that
learn.
after
Next
breakfast.
cardio is a doggy paddle, guys. I'm just teasing. It's time to stretch. All right. So pull up one elbow. And your other arm can either help push that elbow back, or if you're comfortable, you can wrap it around your head for that deeper stretch. I've got my big headphones on today, so that doesn't quite work for me.
Arms are too short.
Your arms are too short? Oh boy.
Can't get it over my head and hold it up like that.
I call those T-Rex arms, you know. And switch sides. There you go, gang. How's everybody feeling?
Good.
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 Great.
Good. We did some slow strength today, and then you all did fantastic on that little cardio endurance. So that was 6 minutes, well, 7 minutes, actually 7 minutes of non-stop work for that cardio.
I was getting sweaty.
Awesome.
Yeah, no kidding.
So think to yourself, okay, if you weren't able to do the full 7 minutes without a rest, that's okay. I want you to write down 7 minutes and how many times you took a rest. Because now that's a basis. Rest that arm, stretch one arm down, reach the other up. Now you have something to compare it to, right? We're going to work to get 7 minutes with no rest. And that's going to be a way of measuring improvement. Does that make sense?
And our goal is
10 minutes.
10 minutes?
Right through without stopping. 1 hour.
Well, yeah, you know, the long-term goal is doing a full 50 minutes without a rest.
No. You gotta be athlete for that.
Yeah.
In about 1 to 2 years, you'll be amazed. Which side?
Stay away from the cops.
But for now,
Then you
the
can get away
goal
with that, right?
goal is 7 minutes without rest. And if you did all 7 minutes without rest, then the next goal is 10 minutes.
Okay.
Yeah. And if you had multiple rests, your goal first, your short-term goal isn't to do it with 0 rest, it's to do it with 1 less rest.
Yeah.
Right.
And then once you match that, 1 less rest.
Right.
I didn't count. I have no idea.
Me neither.
That's
It's hard because some days you have better days than others, right?
That's right, but you have to recognize that too.
You did really good.
And rest that arm. So now let's get one leg out in front and reach towards your toes. And you know, even coaching young athletes, and the reason I always compare to young athletes is young athletes are often kind of lauded as the peak, other than your high performance adult athletes. But lots of people go, oh, you know, kids are young, they can go do whatever, you know, they're fit, they're young, whatever. And so even them, I never tell them that they have to play their best performance every time, because that's not reasonable.
Mhm.
Switch legs, I always tell them to give me whatever they've got to give today.
Mhm.
So it's that work ethic piece.
Mhm.
Because you're right, there are bad days and good days, and that can have a variety of factors. It could be you didn't drink enough water. It could be you ate something that didn't quite agree with you or wasn't optimally fueling you. Could have been a bad sleep.
Yeah.
It could have been you did a lot of activity, either mental or physical, in the last 2 or 3 days. Right? Maybe you had a lot of company. That's exhausting.
Or you're
So-
around
Yeah, we're out of
something
practice.
smoky and your air's not that good that day or something.
Exactly. So
Yeah,
there's
you
so
have
many
to-
things. And what's important is just to remind yourself that there's reasons why you have bad days, and just to accept it as part of the process and just do what you can on a given day.
All you
Don't
listen-
expect your best self every day.
What a dream.
Right.
It's doable
Now-
though.
Now drop that leg behind you underneath your chair, gang, or just turn sideways in the chair and drop your outside leg back. Whatever's most comfortable for you. And that's also why it's important to look at improvements over a 1 or 2 week span, rather than just one day you're going, oh, I didn't make it through all 7 minutes without a rest. I'm going backwards. No, you aren't. You might have just had a rougher day. But in 2 weeks' time, if you've done one less rest in 7 minutes, that's awesome. That's improvement. You're doing great.
Yep.
Switch sides or switch legs. So if you're whatever you're doing that's comfortable for you. And I switch up the exercises on you guys. I mean.
That makes sense. You keep us on our toes.
That's right.
And you also give encouragement.
Well, that's important.
Yeah.
If you feel encouraged, then that's awesome.
Yeah.
I love it.
You're doing your job. We are too.
There we go. I love it. And rest that leg. All right, gang. So now we're going to do a deep, slow breath. And you can either just keep your hand on your belly, make sure you're breathing in to fill up that belly, or you're welcome to reach your hands up overhead. So do what's best for you. Let's inhale. Pause and slowly exhale when you're ready. One more time. Slow breath in at your own pace. Pause, and when you're ready, slowly breathe out. There we go, gang. Awesome, awesome job today.
Thank you, Jill.
You.
Thank
Jill,
you.
I have to tell you, I've been doing your exercises
Thank
online.
you, Jill.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks, Jill.
Thanks, Joe.
You
Thank you, Connie. Thanks, Werner.